I would like to request Dr. Pallab Ganguly, sir, to initiate this session. And I would humbly request all the speakers to keep it short and crisp.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, then we are the culprit between lunch and this session. So I'm really sorry for that. But at the same time, I want to bring out some important perspectives with respect to a very, very pertinent topic brought up by the Chhattisgarh government. I do thank APAC Network as well as Department of Energy, Chhattisgarh Power, for inviting us for this important panel. Everybody knows that now we are aging to an era of cybersecurity, which is a very, very pertinent topic in today's world. Right from Bureau of Indian Standard, Government of India, CA Ministry of Power, and the regulations coming up, as well as NCIIPC, we know the National Cybersecurity Reference Framework just came out. So we have to tighten our shoes, tighten our belts, and to regiment all the power utilities, be it transmission, be it distribution, or be it generation. Now, how cybersecurity plays an important role in achieving net zero energy infrastructure. The first point is that we are following NIST, we are following NACSIP standard, we are following IEC, but now I would congratulate Government of India, CA Ministry of Power, who has come out with a fantastic regulation of 15 pages, ladies and gentlemen, which has 13 chapters, and all those chapters has accumulated all the policies, all the governing regulations followed all over the world. So if anybody reads in between the lines of this particular CA regulation, he can do, or he or she can do a magnificent work in his particular power utility domain. So the key aspect, basically, of cybersecurity achieving net zero infrastructure, first I would start with the distributed energy resources. How do you protect it? Then securing the smart grid, because in the distribution sector, you have the smart metering part, you have distribution automation part, you have the SCADA, the industrial control system part, as well as you have the numerical relays in the testing and commissioning era. Then we come to data integrity and visibility. Do we really have the visibility of the OT sector? The answer is no, because we in the power utility sector don't allow any Clarity, Nozomi, or any Wireshark kind of packet capturing algorithms to run in our environment. But I tell you, as a cybersecurity subject matter expert, that we have done that in our utility Calcutta Electric Supply, in the distribution and in the generation arena, and we have seen magnificently we are being benefited. Because we now know how our metering department gadgets are operating with the testing and commissioning, the distribution automation, the SCADA, the energy monitoring system, distribution monitoring system, and outage monitoring system working hand in hand. So this is very important to know the data integrity and visibility part. Next comes the resilience against cyber attacks. Again, I would congratulate Government of India for bringing up the Cyber Crisis Management Plan, which has to be vetted by CERT and sectoral CERT as CERT Thermal, CERT Hydro, CERT Renewables, or CERT Distribution. So if anybody just maintain a proper cyber crisis management plan with a CIRT, with a cyber governance team, he will be able to define the RASCI. That is the responsibility, accountability, support, consulted, and informed. This RACI matrix is a must for each and every power utility organization. Next, I come to the monitoring and detection systems. You have multiple monitoring and detection systems for your IT part. But have we ever thought of OT? If yes, then the detection and response systems are necessary to identify the potential cyber threats early on and take appropriate mitigation action. So how do you do that? Today, a gentleman from Fortinet, Ramanam, if I'm not wrong, If I misspelled, I'm sorry. But he has brought out that identify, detect, protect, respond, recover from again NIST standard. But why we are not following the CA regulation? You go to the chapters, even if you go to 2021 cybersecurity regulation, which has been brought by CA, you will see there were articles. And now we have chapters. In the chapters, you go to cybersecurity audit, you go to responsibility roles, you go to the information security policy. So previously we had the information security policy for only IT, but not for OT. Now we are bringing up a composite IT and OT policy. The OT policy would always bring up the ISO 27019. 27001 is basically meant for IT and not for OT. For OT, you need ISO 27019, you need IC 62443, and again I congratulate our government, they are bringing up IS 16335, of which I am also a contributor. So in IS 16335, Smart LITD 10 Bureau of Indian Standard, it has brought out relevant perspective of OT security. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I would urge you, kindly go through it. Last but not the least is the employee training and awareness part. Tripta Thakur madam has said, Rathore sir has said in many avenues, MAKP sir is present here. So they have always said that employee training and awareness is a must. So each and every power utility must have a proper disciplinary training system through intermediate, basic, and advanced training program from NPTI or CPRI. Now, I would conclude with the challenges in cybersecurity for net zero infrastructure. First is the complexity of new technologies. The earlier SCADA, 15 years of life cycle management. The now SCADA, we have migrated in the distribution SCADA from Siemens CNOT Spectrum to OSI SCADA. And we have seen the complexity of new technologies because you have to have a hand-on cohesion with other departments as well. Vis-a-vis, I've seen in our generation division that we have a distributed control system, PADO, blade vibration management system, and PLC systems. But they does not have any DCDR kind of thing. In the distribution, you have main control center and backup control center. But in the generating division, you need to have high availability in terms of operator workstation or engineering workstation. Because we all know in OT, process, control, operation, and then enterprise IT integration through jump host. This is the new technology, ladies and gentlemen. Then comes the data privacy and consents, which I have already said, that if you need to have a proper smart grid, you need to have an analytics center of excellence, you need to have AI/ML pushed in, and you need to have more and more data collected from your distribution and generation division, and also your IT/OT convergence and intersection part. And last but not the least, again, I would not congratulate, even I would request Rathore sir and also CA Ministry of Power, sir, please look upon the supply chain security part where we are all dependent on the vendors. Those vendors, OEM vendors who are taking us for a ride, who are taking so much of money after 15 years of the life cycle of a power system. If you go for any patch upgradation of the operating system firmware, of the human-machine interface, or the process controllers, or the operator workstations, humongous amount they are charging. So this is an important part, is the supply chain security part, where we know that the cybersecurity risks associated with third-party vendors and equipments used in the energy infrastructure needs to be carefully managed. Last but not the least, overall, I would say the robust cybersecurity practices are critical for power utilities to successfully navigate the transition towards net zero energy infrastructure by ensuring the reliable operation of new technologies and mitigating potential cyber threats that could undermine the clean energy goals. Thank you and all the best.
Welcome Ramanan Chidambaram, Sir, Director Sales, SD WAN, Fortinet on stage to join us for the session. Huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.